so what we're doing today is we're going to do a little history on how DJ's Goalpost started and how I got into the memorabilia. One is I have 4 pictures of Ray Nitschke, and when my son was younger, which he's an adult now, Ray Nitschke had signed these pictures, not signed these pictures, but held my son. He autographed a jersey, and we still have the jersey. I put it in a picture frame for him. It's at his house. Well, we had these little pictures, so we went back and seen Nitschke and Paul Horning at State Fair Park, and he autographed these 4 pictures. And these pictures are the only pictures that were in my bar. In my house, actually, I'm sorry. In my house, these 4 pictures. And then 2 weeks after he did this, he passed away. Pulled up, I kept them nice and safe. And then I took 1 picture out, which is right here. And I have Mark Tauscher, Greg Koch, Joe Panos, Zeke Berkowski, Willie Davis, Willie Buchanan, Jerry Kramer, Fuzzy Thurston, Max McGee, Dave Robinson, Lynn Dickey, Carol Dale, Bart Starr, and Mark Tauscher. They all autographed this picture for me. So as Cliff goes around the room, he's going to show you that this is a Packer room, and we rent it out for $100 for the whole night for 4 hours. Well, people say to me, "Why do you have a John Brockington Ohio State jersey in here?" So I have to tell the story. It's kind of a little long, but it's really a hard thing because John Brockington was a fullback, one of the greatest, I believe, for the Green Bay Packers. And he had been sick. Well, we went up, we rented the table out up at the atrium in Green Bay, and who do I sit next to at a table? 1 table away from us, there's John Brockington, and he had been sick. So I got up, went over there, because you're allowed to talk to the players, and I said, "Hey, Mr. Brockington, I want to just let you know, man, you look awesome. When I was growing up, you were one of the best running backs, best fullback, and I really I'm happy to see that you're doing well." And he happened to be there with his wife. And he goes, "Well, why don't you give me your phone number, address, and stuff? I want to send you something." Never in my life of being involved in sports, all my life, did I think I was going to have this miracle happen to me. One day FedEx came, rang my doorbell, I got a package. It was from John Brockington. When I opened it up, I started to cry because it was a Green Bay Packer game used John Brockington jersey. The man sent me a jersey of a game used jersey that was in his closet. So 2 years later, I go back to that dinner, and I'm sitting there and I see John's wife, but I don't see John. So I go over and I say, "Hey, Mrs. Brockington, how you doing?" She goes, "I'm doing okay." I said, "Well, where's Mr. Brockington?" She said, "Well, John passed." And I was like, "No way." And I started to cry again. And she goes, I can't find your information. I've been looking for it. Half the people that are Packers don't know who you are. So why don't you give me your information?" And I did. And sure enough, Mrs. Brockington sent me a Ohio State game used John Brockington jersey, and it was signed.
Here's a fake handoff. Love bootlegging right, dumps it off Kraft to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone, and it is a touchdown! Touchdown, Green Bay Packers! Touchdown, Tucker Kraft!
Wayne, you won't believe it, but it was wide delay again. Tucker on the right side runs through the tackle attempt of Jordan Battle. Touchdown Packers, and when Tucker smells the end zone from the 5 in, there's no stopping the dude.
I love it when you talk football, Rock. Why delay? We gotta love it.
We're going to talk about a picture of Brett Favre, Dan Marino, and Greg Jennings. A buddy of mine was a dealer at Potawatomi. He was moving to Vietnam, and he gave me this picture, to purchase. And what's neat about this picture is I got Brett Favre's jersey, I got Marino's jersey, I got Jennings' jersey, I got their footballs. Each one of them have a football that's autographed, and each one had a helmet autographed. And I have all of those. The cool part of the picture is there's 44 of those pictures made, and that's the number 4 for Brett.
Love, sidearm through the hands of Dobbs, caught by Reed.
Oh my goodness.
On the ricochet.
So you expect a pop pass either to Reed or to Watson.
Love looking, throws,
Dobbs.
end zone, touchdown. We're down at 7 for Green Bay.
Okay, so back here we have a service bar that comes along with the $100 for 4 hours. We don't serve you any beer or anything, but you can use the bar, put your stuff behind here, and you can cook, you can have your food brought back here, and it's like having your own personal little bar. And the cool thing is it's loaded up with Packer stuff, memorabilia that I've collected since we opened, and we only are open 14 years, and all this has been collected during our 14 years of being open. Everything was bought or donated by customers who wanted to have something they had put in the bar. Okay, so when I first started collecting, I bought all these bobbleheads, and it came to me one day, I became friends with Leroy Butler, and I bought a bobblehead, and it's Jody Nelson doing the Lambeau Leap. Well, Jody Nelson didn't do the Lambeau Leap. So a friend of mine and I, we decided to get a hold of Leroy Butler and tell him that there's a Jody Nelson Lambeau Leap bobblehead, and we would like to have him sign on it that we could have them made. So we had bobbleheads made, and there they are. So I put 2 around Jody Nelson, they're autographed, and then we made them. He sold some, we sold some, and we helped create the Leroy Butler Lambeau Leap.